Here's a message that might help somebody today. I always thought of the ego when you hear that word is somebody's, oh, their ego's getting away from them, or their ego makes them blurt out in meetings, that person's egotistic, that kind of thing. But what I didn't realize was we all have an ego. Good, bad, and different, doesn't matter. You have an ego. And that ego operates off of all your experiences that you've had in your life. So everything that you've learned from your childhood all the way up till whatever age you're at right now, your ego's operating on it from experiences that created a belief. For example, I watched the sheriff at the time when I was a child put a sheriff's sale sign on my parents' front door. Growing up, that was scary. You're going to lose your home. And tensions were high in the house. You heard mom and dad complaining, and there was never enough money. And there we are. We had 5 siblings. So you start holding on to fear of losing your home, but you don't realize it. You're hearing it. You see them frustrated, struggling to make ends meet for whatever reason. So I grew up believing that you could lose your home. Yeah, money was hard to come by. You had to bust your ass, get tired of busting your ass, fighting all of that stuff. And it created a belief within me that I didn't realize I had that was lack. And that's kind of where it started that I remember. But there was other times where we would get a special night and we would go to the gas station near us, and my mom would buy a pack of Reese's peanut butter cups, 2 in each pack. So she bought 2 packs, and she bought 2 cans of Pepsi, 1 for her and 1 for 3 of us kids. She took the 2 packs of Reese's peanut butter cups, gave each one of us kids 1 of those Reese's peanut butter cups and 1 for herself. And she opened the can of Pepsi and we shared it. Of course, I always got the bottom of the can and I hated that. I still to this day do not like drinking after anyone. But anyway, it was lack. There wasn't enough to have my own. I couldn't have my own. I wanted my own pack of Reese's peanut butter cups. I wanted my own can of Pepsi. Not realizing those experiences created lack in my life. And my entire life, up until about 5 years ago, was lack. As fast as money came in my house, it went out because of my beliefs. There was many other beliefs that went with it, but my lack of my finances, of growing up with lack in my house, and then continuing through, went into an abusive relationship where he took my paycheck. I wasn't allowed spending any money, and what money did get spent, he chose how it got spent. So there was more lack. There was just more and more things that happened in my life that just confirmed to my ego that there's lack in my life. And my responses and my reactions to things, helping other people, giving money away, doing this, all those things came from my belief that money was hard to come by. It was a belief. Once I've flipped that script, I realized the money's always there. You just believe it's not. That might sound delusional, but I can tell you firsthand, it's always there. You believe it's not going to be. You believe it is, it will be. But you can't just say to yourself, the money's always there, the money's always there. You got to believe it to be true. Because you believed it to be true that lack existed. That's why it lacked in your life. When you believe it to be true 100%, and there's no doubt that it will be there, the universe has no option but to give it to you. These are things that I have learned 100% and have applied to my life and changed the way I believe things about myself. All those changes have changed my life completely. And that's why I'm sitting here telling you, maybe it'll make your life a little bit easier too. There's a link in my bio for a free download about my life or to work with me one-on-one. Have a great day.